We typically measure power through visible metrics: deep pockets, physical strength, or the backing of a social majority. Ancient folklore often challenges this hierarchy, handing the leverage to outmaneuver the elite to those in the lowest social classes. We see this in three archetypes: a woodcutter's daughter facing predatory wealth, an abandoned bride navigating exile, and a religious minority cornered by a mob. These stories suggest that wit, strategy, and humanity are the internal tools required to navigate a world that offers no external resources. The first conflict involves a woodcutter's daughter and a merchant who has built a fortune by trapping laborers in predatory contracts. The merchant's primary tactic is a specific legal snare. He buys a load of wood on the condition that it is handed over in its exact current state. Once the deal is signed, he claims the exact state includes the pack animal carrying the wood, effectively seizing the seller's livelihood. When the daughter approaches him with a new load, she accepts his high price and his infamous condition without protest, but she weaponizes his own literal phrasing. She demands the payment be handed over in the exact current state it is held. Since the merchant is physically holding the gold, he must surrender his hand. To save his limb, he forfeits his wealth. Wit is the ability to use an oppressor's own logic as a trap, proving that critical thinking is a more versatile currency than gold. In our second story, a newlywed bride is abandoned in a dense forest by her husband on their first night together. Instead of waiting for a rescue that may never come, she treats her exile as a tactical problem. She adopts a local stranger as her brother, creating a socially acceptable proxy to act on her behalf. She begins liquidating low-value agricultural assets, their buffalo, to invest in a high-value tactical asset, a premium racehorse. During a royal race, she orders her brother to pace himself just behind the monarch. Winning humiliates the king. Staying close makes them useful. When the king becomes stranded and exhausted during the race, her brother is the only one close enough to provide aid. In gratitude, the king appoints him as the commander of the royal army. Her foresight turns a moment of social abandonment into high political authority. It is the suspension of ego for long-term survival, converting a forest exile into a position of influence. The final conflict is a life-or-death crisis. A Muslim girl, fleeing a mob, begs for sanctuary at the door of a solitary Hindu sadhu. Protecting her risks the sadhu's reputation, his safety, and the peace of his temple. He hides the girl inside a sacred chest and uses his spiritual authority to turn the mob away, protecting the temple's sanctuary. The mob was actually the girl's own family, testing whether altruism could survive across rigid religious lines. Humanity is the purest display of power, as it requires risking personal safety to uphold a moral law that sits above societal division. Wealth can be neutralized by logic, arrogance can be outmaneuvered by patience, and a mob can be defeated by moral courage. These ancient stories serve as blueprints for survival, proving that the mind and character are the only assets that cannot be confiscated. When faced with overwhelming force, your intelligence and your humanity are your most effective weapons. If these lessons resonated with you, please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.